Hi everyone, hope you're well. With the release of Volume 1 of my guide to 10 of the best places to hike to, explore or even photograph in Cornwall, I wanted to create this video as a visual comparison with that guide. Whether you're planning your next adventure or just looking for inspiration, this video will walk you through these stunning locations and show you why each one is worth the trip. Now the guide, which you can download from my website, is packed full of tips, everything from where to park and hiking routes and the best spots for photography. And I've even included the what 3 words locations to make navigating to these areas a lot easier for you guys, as well as maps and suggestions for obviously non-photographers, because not everybody likes to click the shutter button. So grab a coffee, settle in, come and join me and let me take you on this journey through Cornwall's most breathtaking spots. So let's start with me on the approach into Mousehole, which is a picture-perfect village that truly captures the charm of the Cornish coast. So I'm interested to know which one of these places would you visit. Drop a comment below and let me know. So this is the coast road, which is Cliff Road, which leads from Newlyn all the way into Mousehole. And the lay-by here on the left, you can also park in there, but please be aware that it is probably a good half-a-mile hike from here into Mousehole. And just a bit further on, there's another one there, which you can also park there. And then if you continue on, you go around quite a sharp bend, so I would recommend slowing down. And on the left there, you get the old Penley lifeboat house. And then on the right hand side here is a little caravan site that I used to stay on in my childhood. And then just over the top where this car's coming into view, this is the lay-by that I do mention in the guide. And in summer, you'll be very, very lucky if you get a space here. It's always rammed. But in the winter months and off season, you can relatively get a space quite easily, and I was quite lucky here to get that spot. But if you do just go a bit further on the left hand side there where there's the white house, that is the car park that I mentioned in the guide next to the Coast Guard pub. And you can walk down past the cafe and down some steps and then down onto the path, which will come up very shortly. And this is the path here from the lay-by, and then you turn left just down these steps, which again I remember playing on these steps many times when I was a kid, because they do wind down and twist and turn down onto the seafront. And you reach the bottom here. Obviously in summer it's quite overgrown unless Cornwall Council do keep it cut back. And then if you turn left, you walk along the raised wall, which is here. And at low tide, as you can see, it does give you a lot of opportunity to get down there and get some good photographs, or even just have a play amongst the rocks and throw stones in the sea. But at high tide, the sea does come up to the wall and does smash into the wall, so be aware of that. And you can just see the path there on the right. It has worn away and it has collapsed there over time. You used to be able to walk right along there to Newlyn, but it's quite treacherous getting along those rocks. And I think you might be able to see me sat there on the right hand side. There are a few steps that you can drop down to get onto the rocks. I think some of them are quite steep, so again just be aware of that. But yeah, at low tide you can probably get all along these rocks and explore and do some photography. And then obviously once you've done, walk back along. You can either turn back right up the steps there back up to the car, or if you continue left along the path there, just to the left hand side is a swimming pool, an open air swimming pool. And then just to the right there's some steps where you go back up to the pub car park, and then continue along here into Mousehole. The harbour there is on the left hand side, and then just to the left of that building there with the tiles on it is the North Quay, which here is on the left hand side. You can see the cars there parked on the top, and then there's the beach where the boats are. And here I'm walking round the harbour to the South Quay, and you can see the beach there on the right hand side as well. That's really idyllic spot. And it's so quiet as well in the early hours. And then just down on the left there, over the top of the handrail, you'll see the concrete path that I was talking about in the guide. And obviously you can see there at low tide you can get anywhere along there and get some photos of any boats or seaweed or whatever catches your eye. And of course you can walk all the way along there. And again at high tide it does come quite high up. But yeah, if you continue along the road here, you can actually turn right and come up past where I set the camera up to get round another way, round to the South Harbour wall there, but I continue to walk straight on, which I know this area quite well. Winds away just for another 100 yards or so around the houses, and then you drop down into the beach, into the harbour here. And then just the other side of that bench, it does drop down a bit, and there's another amazing little spot where I think it's a bit of flat concrete, I think there is, that I've set my camera up on there a few times, and you can get some panoramas of the harbour and some time lapses. It's a perfect spot for some time lapses. And you keep walking along the front there, along the harbour wall, take your pick where you set your camera up. It is really idyllic, it really is. So this is the road down into Penberth, where you turn around in the junction, or you can actually go up to the pub and spin around in the car park and then turn right at the junction, back down the hill and then turn immediately right again. And then you have to park somewhere here on the left where these cars are, because you can't get any further on past like a narrow bridge. And then you walk down into Penberth, which is probably 300-400 yards, and you come down to the cove, and then you can see the cottage there in the bottom. You walk round past the cottage to the far end, and round the corner there you'll find some steps up to where I am, and here I peeled off to the right, but if you keep on going round to the left, that is the actual coast path. But I decided just to have a quick look down this part of the path here. And when I get to the edge, you can see Porthguarnon in the distance there, where the rocks are just in the sea, the far one sticking up there. And then the path around to Porthguarnon is quite a tricky rocky path, as you can see here, so I wouldn't really recommend it for the infirm and the elderly. I mean, even with me with a relatively moderate level of fitness, it was pretty tough. I mean, I've lost count how many times I've actually gone over on my ankles on these journeys and on these hikes. And then here I'm coming down into Porthguarnon. You can see the path there, what I'm pointing to, going up the other side. And I think from Penberth this is about a 20-minute hike. And then these are the steps that go round and down into Porthguarnon itself, and that is a lot steeper than it looks there on the video. And some of those steps are quite tough to get down and to obviously get back up, because you've got to come back up this way to get back to your car if you have parked at Penberth. Now you can go straight on there, like I said, and up the path the other side and carry on along the coast path, but I came back up these steps. And then this is down in the bottom. This is Porthguarnon, which looks so idyllic it's untrue, and I have planned to go back there and do some photography when we get another decent day, to say the least, because the weather's not been the best. So this next location you'll find on the guide is Logans Rock, which I think the easiest way to get to Logans Rock is again parking in Penberth, and as you walk down into Penberth you see like the little river there you can see, and there's some stepping stones across there, and it's quite easy to negotiate those stepping stones, and you just follow the path around and you'll see a gate next to a little hut. You walk across this little sort of track here, which I think this is where they filmed Poldark. You walk across there where I'm walking there, and there's a gate just in front of you, and you open the gate and you do have to go through and up a relatively steep path until you get to the top of the hill, heading out towards Logans Rock. And I think in the distance there you can see, I think I was pointing out a horse on this particular morning. It got the shock of my life when I saw these wild horses coming over the top of the hill. And then this is getting a bit closer to Logans Rock. I think you can just see it there in the distance on the right. And this is the obviously the coastal path a bit further on, closer towards Logans Rock. And it's relatively easy, this one. I mean, there's no massive boulders, but in some areas there is a lot of stones you can see here, look, sticking up, so you have got to watch your ankles and just keep your wits about you where you put your feet. And there's a nice view looking back there towards Penberth. And on this morning it was glorious, as you can see. But I have been along here when it's been blowing a gale, I must admit, and it's a completely different world. Still nice, nonetheless. Huffing and puffing a bit here. And I think just over the top here is the sort of little path and the little route down onto Logans Rock. Yeah, this is their little exit, or entrance if you like. If you turn right there, you do get to Porthguarnon and Pedn Vounder, which is the next location. But yeah, if you go left,
so
you do go along this path here.
See what we get. Yeah, there's the rock
top,
in the
and
distance.
then Logans Rock, look right down there in the distance, sticking up on the end. And you just follow the path down, to be honest.
But this is where people were camping last time I was here.
Yeah, I do remember there, as I just said, there were people camping in tents.
Oh, that's cool. That is pretty cool.
And over to the right is Minack Theatre and Porthguarnon, which I just spin round there. You can see Porthguarnon.
Get that for a view.
It is a bit daunting, Logans Rock. It is massive. And you don't really appreciate how big it is until you actually get up to Logans Rock itself. I mean, there, look, you can see Porthguarnon, and then the beach just in the foreground, just round the corner of those rocks there. That's Pedn Vounder.
I think this beach, I don't know if it's this one. Let me just...
Yeah, I do get it wrong here, I think.
I don't know if it's this first beach.
Yes, it is.
Or the next one just on the right there from Porthguarnon.
No, it's not. Yeah, I did get that wrong. But yeah, this is actually on Logans Rock. This is me trying to reverse the rocks and just to get a bit further onto the headland. But as you can see, some of these boulders, well, they're the size of cars.
I don't know which way to go.
Now, it's always up to you if you want to traverse as far as what I've done here.
Let's try up here.
But the views from the top are pretty spectacular, I must admit. I think from memory I scratched my camera here as I just climbed up this rock. I think, yeah, down there, that's quite a drop as well.
Bloody hell.
That's really high.
That is steep down there.
It might be here actually where I scratched my camera. I was gutted. If you watch on the right here, I think I scrape it on the rock.
I think I've got to get back down.
Yep.
And this is where I am. The things you do. Oh, I've stood on my laces.
Just here. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was... Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't realise how much further I still had to go.
But yeah, I don't think I will get over to Logans Rock with this bag, but...
And then a
Oh, look at that.
steep drop down there.
Look at that. That's pretty smart. But yeah, I think I've gone as far as I want to go, although I think I could get to Logans Rock to the end there.
No.
Just follow that path along there.
No, that's a bit tricky.
That looks a bit treacherous though, with the camera bag. So I think I'll give that a miss. But yeah, that rock on the top is Logans Rock.
And this bit of footage, believe it or not, I didn't know the camera was recording. I must have accidentally knocked the button. But I do drop my GoPro into a little pocket on the front of one of my straps on my bag, and I didn't know that it was recording. And I was moving on to Pedn Vounder. I think I did. I think I was. I can't quite remember. So what I'll do, I'll just leave this running, just to show you what it's like getting on, getting off Logans Rock. I think I scratched my hand there. But yeah, my GoPro was sat in my pocket on one of my straps. I think I do talk to myself a bit here as well. No one around, so I thought, you know, why not? And I think I got lost going back up to get back to the southwest coast path, because there's so many different ways you can get off Logans Rock. I mean, look at it, it just looks like a lunar landscape.
Jesus.
Yeah, I did think I got a bit lost here. Because I was thinking, I don't remember coming down this way, but you know, there's obviously steep drops, but there was nothing too scary to worry about. Just tricky getting up here with my bag and struggled a bit there, I think. Puffing and puffing. What a view, what a view. Yeah, I think I was close to dying here, to be honest. Having a break. I think I deserved it, to be honest, climbing up there.
Oh dear.
And I don't think on this particular morning I had a drink with me neither, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but I have started to take a little flask of coffee out with me now on my adventures, but I think when I filmed this I don't think I took anything with me. So I must admit, by the time I got up to this rise I was spitting feathers. And one of my recent videos as well, I did go back out to Logans Rock at night. I went round to Pedn Vounder, went to Logans Rock at night and painted the tried to paint the scene with my torch. If you just check the top of the video there, you'll see the link to that video. Yeah, huffing and puffing a bit more now. It is a lot further than you think to get down onto Logans Rock, I think, from this. I enjoy it though, you know, it gives me some exercise, it gets me out and about, gets me into the fresh air. And I really love filming these locations, and I really love sharing with everyone there on YouTube who watches my channel. So, you know, I'm grateful for every view that I get, every comment that I get. So if you are liking this video, please give the video a thumbs up while I'm huffing and puffing. And also hit the subscribe button if you will, because that would be phenomenal. I think I'm close to collapsing by the sound of me breathing there. Need some oxygen, quick, get some oxygen. Yeah, and I think here just over those few boulders in the distance is back to the southwest coast path. So as you can see, it's quite an effort. It's quite an effort to get down. Oh, pardon my French there. And then I think here, after I'd done this bit of filming, I was heading back to my car. So when you come through this little area here between these two mounds, if you hang a left, you do eventually get round to Pedn Vounder and Porthguarnon. But I think here I turned right. I think I was heading back to my car back in Penberth, I think, from memory, if it serves me right. So yeah, if you shoot off left up there, you get to Pedn Vounder. But yeah, I'm turning right. I thought I did. And then back down into Penberth in about half an hour's time. So by the time I got back to Penberth, as you can imagine, I was sweating bullets. I really was. The next location in the guide is Pedn Vounder Beach, which is just round from Porthguarnon, which Porthguarnon is just a really popular beach in summer. But I've read quite a few articles that Pedn Vounder Beach is rated amongst one of the best beaches in the world. Now personally, I've never been down onto the beach itself, because I've read a lot of articles and I've seen a lot of videos here on YouTube of people trying to get down, and it's just so treacherous that I've not even attempted it yet. I would like to go down and have a look, where you will see the top of the path in a minute just on this little video. But yeah, what I gather, it's such a treacherous climb down, and I just think with my bag and my tripods and all my camera gear and my drones that I've got with me, I just didn't think at the time it was worth it. So I might have to take a trip out there just with as little gear as I can. You can see Logans Rock there, and Pedn Vounder is below me, where you can see those waves breaking. And I think you can probably see Land's End there in the distance. But yeah, this is Pedn Vounder. And Logans Rock there in the distance. Just keep following the path along. Yeah, I think I've just found the way down to Pedn Vounder Beach. Just here, look. And of course there's the stock warning. No lifeguards patrol it. Yeah, no lifeguards. But down there, that looks like a treacherous climb. But I'm right on the headland now. I'm going to say, oh, let me just squeeze around here. Oh, I might come right here. Oh, check it out. Amazing view. One of the best views, I think. Oh. I must admit, in one of my last videos, I said that I'd found the best view yet.
Well, I think that has just beat it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's Pedn Vounder.
I'm agreeing with myself.
I think at low tide, like I said, I think you can walk round. I think you can, from Porthguarnon Beach, I think you can walk round the headland. But that looks well deep, and I think also there's like a natural sandbar that forms as well. And you can walk out to that. But the tide's high now. So yeah, I think I might, it's quite a nice little spot. With the best view in the world, so I think I might put myself down here and get filming.
Yeah, these drone videos here are of, well, that's Logans Rock there, but yeah, Pedn Vounder does come into the frame in a couple of seconds, but I use this opportunity to get my drone in the air, to do some aerial shots and photography and videos and things, because as much as I was tempted to go down, I didn't think it was worth the risk. I mean, I didn't know if the tide was on the turn, if it was high tide, and I think you can see a line in the sand there, look, which I'm assuming is the high tide line, but I don't quite know where the path drops you on the beach at the bottom. So I'm not sure if you can only get down at relatively low tide or what, I'm not quite sure. So I just thought it wasn't worth the risk, but I do want to go back out there when I haven't got as much gear with me, and I can probably get down there a bit easier. So I'll leave these videos with you to enjoy Pedn Vounder. Remarkable place, absolutely remarkable. So the next location in the guide is Gwenapp Head, and the easiest way to get to Gwenapp Head is parking at Porthguarnon. So this is the road down to Porthguarnon, and on the left there, as I just sort of move over there, there's a pull-in to let cars past. As you can see, the road is as wide as your car. I mean, I know tractors do come down here, and I think just in front there, yeah, you see the flashing lights, there's a farm just in front of me where I think from memory I do catch up with a car and a tractor, which I think they were heading off into the fields to pick up vegetables or cauliflowers or whatever they were doing. But if I just speed this up here, so now they've moved out my way. I do bump into another car. This is typical of these Cornish roads when you're off the beaten track. If there's one coming the other way, and you know, I sort of tend to reverse back and pull into the closest pull-in if I'm nearest. Cheers, mate. No problem. And then we move on and head down into Porthguarnon. And this is quite a long road down here, so I think I'll have to speed it up again. We approach Porthguarnon. The little house there on the right next to the phone box is a cafe, and I think most of these other buildings you can see here are either Airbnbs or holiday lets. And you just pull around the back of this one, up the road, and then there's a car park here on the right hand side which you have to pay to park in there, which is not that much to pay in there, to be honest. And then if you go straight up the road there, you can't get through in your car, but you can walk up that road there to get to Gwenapp Head. But I think the route that I go is the easiest of the two. So you jump out your car, walk down the side of this little bungalow here, and then at the top of the ramp there you will see down into Porthguarnon. There is a relatively small beach that you can sit on and enjoy, and of course just at the bottom of there, I'm not sure if you know, there's some caves that you can actually walk through the headland. Quite slippy, so do take care. But yeah, down the bottom of the ramp just to the left there's some caves. So yeah, if you obviously turn back round and go up the path there where I'm going, that is probably the easiest way to get up to Gwenapp Head. And then you just keep following up around the headland as I'm doing. And then eventually you get to a little rise at the top here. That's looking back towards Porthguarnon. Oh God, look at that. That's quite a spectacular view, I must admit. Took me by surprise.
But yeah, I was God, look at those. This is just a B-roll.
And just to the right hand side, I'm not sure if you can see that really at the end of the path, that is where the blowhole is, which we'll get onto in a sec. But you just simply keep following the path. You can't really go wrong, to be fair. And I think just here I'd just take a left off the main path there that runs up to the right. But I'd just take a left here just to follow the path down and round to this blowhole that I was interested in going to take a look at. And then here, over these boulders, I'm on the approach to the blowhole, and I think I look down over the edge here. Yeah, I think I do. It's rather high, I must admit. I don't know if you can see the bottom. Yeah, you can see the bottom there, look. And I think the tide comes in there, in strong winds, the tide comes right in there, and then I think it does come up the blowhole there as it hits the rocks. I've never seen that, to be fair, but I have read a few articles about it. The sea coming up through that blowhole in strong storms. And then this is just like looking over the edge from just above where the blowhole was. And Land's End is just round the corner. Again, that's quite high, I must admit. A couple of 100 feet, I reckon, maybe more. And then the blowholes there, look.
me see if I can have a look at it from this side. It's a bit scary, to be honest.
Yeah, it's to get to the edge. You do need to be very careful, obviously.
Phenomenal. I've still got that bacon and egg in my head though.
And I climbed up onto the headland. Just have a look, see what I could see.
What have we got over the top? Oh, look at that for a view.
So picturesque.
Look at that.
It's beyond belief.
How is all that lot hanging
God knows how those rocks are staying on the edge of there.
to the sea?
Why does that not just fall off the sea?
Unreal. Let me just make sure I've got a firm footing.
So that was Gwenapp Head. So what I will do, I will leave these drone shots with you to show you the full area, the full extent of Gwenapp Head, and then we'll move on to the next location. Now the next location in my eyes, I don't think it really needs an introduction, but for you guys out there that don't know it or have never heard of it, it's Nanjizal or Mill Bay, which is round further past Gwenapp Head. And if you stay on the footpath, you do eventually reach Nanjizal, but it is a good hike. You're probably talking an hour and a half. And here there's some rickety steps that take you down onto the beach, if you will. In this particular footage here, the sand was covering more or less half the beach, if you can call it a beach. And I have been out there a few times when the sea had dragged all the sand out, and it was all boulders, which I think there might be some footage of that in a moment. And I had no idea what that big orange ball there was. It weighed a ton. But here down the left hand side, I think I do go a bit further. There you go, look, that is the Song of the Sea Arch, which is a natural arch. And I did go out there when we had a storm and film the rough seas, and you could hear the sound of the waves smashing against the either side of the arch. But in summer, when the tide recedes, I think if you go past that big rock on the left there where the gap is, I think there's like a sort of a pool that forms and you can swim in it and paddle in it and things. But here I think the tide was on the turn and it was going out, so I got there a bit early, to be honest. But yeah, Nanjizal. I mean, look at that sand. Just look at the colour of that sand. This particular morning was quite special, to be fair. Only me there, no one else around. And I do love this place, to be honest, but it is difficult to get to. And there are the steps there, and you can walk further on. Where I'm pointing there, around to Land's End, which from here, Land's End again is probably half an hour.
Oh yeah, the tide's in, well in.
And this particular footage,
the high tide was about 6:30.
Was it a storm when we had a storm?
Woo. Oh, that's really windy. I'll see if I can take you, just bear with me a second. Just going to try and work out how to get down a bit lower. See, there are the steps that I went down last time. Let me just get you down here, look at this.
I'll let you listen to me.
Mind you, I could. Oh.
Excitement.
Oh, yes. I could sit up here on this little outcrop.
Yeah, it's a bit narrow, that, to be honest.
Look at that.
I think this was Storm
This
Ashley.
is what I wanted, and this is what I've got. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There's the Song of the Sea. Oh.
Completely different place.
That's the, the waves coming through it. I think it's the Song of the Sea Arch, natural arch. So it's nice to see some sand. So I suppose a lot of runoff there coming off the fields. But yeah, I walked round here and I walked down that little route there between that rock, and the tide was just...
That's the footage
on the turn.
you've just seen there.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I think... Woo! I think what I might do is set my camera up on here. Or maybe on that point round there, mate. I don't quite know how you get round there. Just to get some shots of this. Oh, this is what I wanted. And this is what I've got. So, as I said, fantastic. So I've just got to find my spot where I want to set up and find a few compositions. So when I have done that, I'll show you the images that I took. I mean, that's the stairs, look. I mean, they're not the safest.
No, by any means.
But yeah, Nanjizal, what a place.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I really think on any day, a calm day, a summer's day, winter's day, stormy day, amazing. amazing.
Oh wow, what a spot. Look at this, I'm right above the sea. I've just come round the path from where I was there on that point. Just come all the way around and come down this little path here. I mean, it's not going to collapse because I'm above some rocks. Oh, this is spectacular. Oh, look at this one. Oh, boom, the power and the sound when they hit the wall. Look at that. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to get my camera out, I think. Whoops. Try some long exposures, a few boulders kicking about. I might just kick them off so I don't fall over.
Yeah, Nanjizal, it lends itself to some amazing locations to pick your shots and do your images, and this is obviously drone footage of Nanjizal, but it is probably best to time your visit at low tide or as the tide is on its way out, so it reveals more of the beach, so you've got more locations or rock formations or whatever to try and get your pictures. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And that's the Song of the Sea Arch there on the right, and I do want to try and get to that at low tide, so I might have to plan that in summer. I've got a lot of videos that I'm planning at the moment, so I need good weather though. I need good weather, but good old England, it's not delivering so far. I know we're in winter at the moment. But yeah, this is I think that's Cornwall, I think, before it, and then Land's End there in the distance. So that's Nanjizal. So we'll move on to the next one. So the next location is Pordenack Point, which, if you stay on the path from Nanjizal and head round towards Land's End, you do eventually reach it. And I think here, this is the headland before Pordenack Point, and I was just pointing out the caves there in the bottom, worn away by the sea. But yeah, you just stay on this path. You can't go wrong. There's no diversions or other paths leading off to it, and you just obviously clamber over the boulders and walls that are in your way, which I suppose might be to stop erosion. I don't know. But this was a nice walk, this, I must admit. But it is easier and quicker if you hike to Pordenack Point from Land's End. But obviously you've got to pay and park in Land's End car park, and then hike sort of south instead of me hiking north from Nanjizal. And the time difference is probably a good half hour, 40 minutes. But like me, I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm afraid, so I decided to go the hard way.
I've got this here. Oh dear. I've got this point in front of me. Let's just go to the end of here. See Land's End now, getting bigger. In the distance.
Yeah, and this was a little sort of inlet or cove, a valley, just before Pordenack, where I think there's like a sort of a pebbly rocky beach. I think you can get down there, but I didn't attempt it. Down in the bottom there. Looks quite smart, I must admit. So that might be another location that I try and visit. But the rocks either side are a bit sheer, so I don't quite know how stable they are. And then you clamber up these steps, and I think in the distance you'll see Pordenack. Yeah, there, look, just on the left hand side we can see that kind of big boulder sticking up, and you do go up to this next wall and just go through this gap. is just up in front of you, and you are greeted with the most amazing view, I must admit.
Which is just up this path and across that bit of grass. Ooh, there's Land's End looking quite bright. Oh, here we are, look, down in the bottom there. Just get a bit closer. Oh, I can even get a bit more closer. That's Ennis-Dodden Arch.
I did fly my drone around that.
And I think I could probably set up camp.
It's an amazing natural little, well, not little, but massive rock outcrop.
Wolf Rock Lighthouse.
That's Longships.
I did see
I always get those mixed up.
Longship Lighthouse with the lights going when I first got here in the dark. I've just been on this first point here in that little dip, I don't know if you can see that, and I've come round past this one onto Pordenack.
I do want to go back here again. I've got so many places I want to revisit.
That is pretty spectacular.
It is, it's pretty good. So let's move on to the next one. So here we find ourselves at Land's End, and the house at the bottom there is the first and last house, and it's obviously easier and quicker if you park in Land's End car park, but Land's End is on the touch expensive side, so I think it's best to park in Scenic and hike back towards Land's End along the coast path, which I think is the more scenic of the two routes. It's only short from Land's End car park, but yeah, I prefer parking in Scenic.
What I thought I'd do just before I walk around the coast there, I thought I'd just climb over the rope and just to come down the cliff edge at Land's End. So I've not been down here before. I know like the, oh, check it out. I know the army train off these rocks in summer. Oh, maybe all year round, I suppose. I don't know, but I have seen them. But that way then. I thought something breached out the sea. I was going to say I've not seen a killer whale, and you watch a killer whale pop up. Yeah, I have seen the army train off the rocks here while I've been out here sometimes. When I've been on holiday before I moved to Cornwall. So I'll try and get down a bit further to show you off the edge of this cliff here. It's a bit treacherous with my tripod in one hand and my camera in the other. Got to get back up that. Oh well. Yeah, let's see what we get down here. Oh, look at that for a view. Look at that for a view. Unbelievable. And that there is looking back towards Land's End. Don't quite know how steep this will be off the edge of here. Whew, yes. Quite a drop, to be honest. Quite a drop. Yeah, that's sheer drop down there. Can I get around here? Oh, yes. Oh, wow. Look at that. I might just get onto the end of there, see if I can show you on there. There, that is phenomenal. Yeah, so I managed to climb around nearly to the point. So I suppose I've seen this on one of the other videos when I thought, am I the most westerly person now with the UK? But I'm at Land's End, so I suppose there's no other further land other than all these big rocks and the lighthouses. So I suppose I am now the most westerly person in the UK, because this, I'm just stood on this massive rock, is the view I've got. So if I just show you the view, which is pretty unreal. It's low tide, so you're seeing all these rocks. You can see there where the water line is, so you can see how low the water is. And I could get down to that lower level there onto that rock at the very end, but I'd have to climb down. I'd have to climb down there and it looks a bit tight, I think. So I think I'll give that a miss, but yeah, I think I've gone as far as I want to go. But I've never been down here before because, of course, you can't get down, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So right, so I'm going to walk round, I think now the path, get to this wreck, and I'll show you the wreck. And that's if I get there safely. Trying to get through all these boulders. I've never seen rocks as big in my life. I suppose you're at Land's End, so I mean, look at the view here. I've got my legs between this. We just pull up here. Oh. I mean, this is what I'm... Can I get up here? Let me see if I can just get up here. Oh. Can I get up here? No, I don't want to. I need another hand. I've got my one hand with me. I've got my tripod in one hand and my camera in the other. Let me just put my tripod down a sec. I just want to show you this view off the top of here. Yeah, I've just put my tripod down. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, this rock here. Oh, check it. Oh, just look at that. I'm just stood perched on this rock here, which is probably, I don't know, big as a car door, I suppose. Best description I could think of. But yeah. Oh wow. Look at those down there, sheer. I wouldn't like to climb down those on a rope, never mind anything else. Yeah, what a view. What a view. What a sky as well, the sky's amazing. So yeah, so I'm going to stop acting like a goat and get around the path. So yeah, some aerial footage here of Land's End, and you can see Dr. Syntax's head there on the left, and you can see the first and last house, and you just climb over the rope down the headland, and there you're onto the rocks. Another amazing place, it really is. So the next location in my guide is Cot Valley, or locally known as Porthguarnon, and this particular footage is just some dashcam footage of the road down to the beach, to the cove. Really narrow, really tricky. There's a few pull-ins and a few areas where you can obviously dart in there to let cars come past you as you're going up or down. In summer it does obviously grow quite thick, and there is some sharp bushes and things, so do be aware when you're going down in your car. You might get a few scratches and scrapes as you're going down there in your car, but in winter obviously, because everything dies back, the road does clear a bit more. But it's a relatively long drive down. You do feel like you're driving to the end of nowhere, but stick with it, and you will find when you get to the bottom the valley, the Cot Valley is set in. As you can imagine, it's really picturesque. Really is. I'll slow down here a bit because it was a bit tight and a bit scrapey. Another pull in there.
can park in if you want to here. Oh, there is one further at the bottom. You can see the bristens there in the distance, out at sea. Over this little rise, and there look, you can see the van and the little sort of area where you can park. You don't have to pay, it is free. There's a few ruins and bits and bobs to explore, and then where that barrier is there, that's you just have to go around that or either climb over it, and Cot Valley is just down there.
Just a bit of B-roll, I think, because this looks then down into...
Or you can approach Cot Valley from the southwest coast path, of course, and this is coming on from Scenic.
When I get to the top of here... Oh, there's some guy down there.
And then if you look in the bottom, you'll see the car park there, which you could probably get about 8 or 9 cars in there. And there's a little bridge to cross over the few steps. And this is just a bit of aerial footage that I took where I was just stood on there. That's on the big sort of headland there on the right hand side, and then the car park there is just to the left, just in front of those ruins. And I think that's me there walking down the road when I filmed this particular shot. There's a river running down there as well into the sea, and then I'm not sure if you just make out that little footbridge. You can cross over there and explore the other side of the valley, and there's quite a bit to explore and to walk around and have a look. And of course it lends itself to some amazing compositions, I'm sure, in the stream on the beach. But it is best if you plan your visit when it's low tide, because the receding tide there does obviously expose a lot more of the beach. And there's some rather sizable rocks on the sand, which again will make good compositions, I'm sure. But yeah, I remember Cot Valley when I was a kid was one of my favourite places. Also known as Dinosaur Egg Beach, which I think I've got some footage coming up where you will probably see why it's called Dinosaur Egg Beach, because all the rocks there have been worn by the sea over the years, and in fact it's rounded them off, so they all look like speckled dinosaur eggs. Some of them are massive. And then yeah, this is just some footage I took down next to the water's edge, and you can see a lot of these boulders have rounded off and been worn by the sea over the years, and of course some of them do look speckled like dinosaur eggs. Not that I've ever seen a dinosaur egg. I'm only going on what I see on Jurassic Park, I suppose. But yeah, Dinosaur Egg Beach. But yeah, when that rock there in the sea, that is massive. And when the tide does recede, that is a lot bigger than it looks there on that footage. And again, some aerial shots just showing some different angles of Cot Valley. And you can see the rock there sticking up in the sea. The cliff edge there on the right hand side has subsided over the last few years, probably 10-15 years. And the coast path has been swallowed up by all the massive boulders and rubble and things. So that is something to be aware of. Obviously coastal erosion, when it rains and gets saturated, it just sort of tends to slip. Yeah, as you come down the path there, just to the left there, you can see that sort of angled face. It's that sort of area there that's slipped, so I would be aware of that if you decide to go to Cot Valley. And just look at the colour of that water. And I think the tide here on this particular footage was on its way out, so you can see more of the sand getting uncovered. and then this is a shot coming back towards Cot Valley from the headland, and the subsided face is that one on the left about now, where you can see that white footpath at the bottom there, or that sort of light brown coloured earth. But yeah, Cot Valley again, phenomenal spot, phenomenal spot. So last but by no means least, the location here that I'm walking down the road is Kenidjack Valley, and this location also has a castle ruin on the top of the hill, which I do go and explore. And as you walk down the road into the valley, you get some old ruins of some old tin mines and some chimneys, which are really picturesque. And I have planned a visit out here at night, where I want to try and illuminate all these structures, or some of these structures, with some torches and do some long exposure photography, and also get my drone above in the air and shine the light down on those. As you walk down the path heading for Kenidjack Valley, you come down this nice looking river stream, which of course, as you can imagine, is also photogenic, and you can see in the distance there the tower of Cape Cornwall there, sat on the mound at the top. And these are some of the ruins that I want to try and light up with my torches and my drones and things at night. But I do want a clear sky, and obviously I don't want it to be raining neither, so I'm trying to pick out the best night for me to go to Kenidjack Valley to do some nighttime photography.
This is smart. We've got loads of little walls, remnants left over from years gone by, I suppose. And like there's bits carved into the hillside. I don't quite know if that's slip there, but I mean, look at these cliffs above me. All little remnants of buildings from years gone by, and then the stream running right through the middle. And then down here, oh, what we got down here? Just navigate these rocks. And then we get the wheelhouse, I'm assuming. Let me just get down here. Oh, yeah. Oh, check it out. That is massive. I'd have loved to have seen this when it was in its heyday. I'll just go to that point there. Just bear with me, it's a bit windy down here, like, but some banging waves coming in. Cape Cornwall in the distance, where I've just been. Oh yeah, again, I think this is another spot for some photography in the summer. So I want to try and get my drone up while it's not raining. Oh yeah, cool. Those waves are pretty sizable. The main objective for today was to come down here and go to the castle, Kenidjack Castle, which is just above me. So I'm... Oh yeah, this is crying out. Oh dear me. Look at these waves. Yeah, sorry, I just get distracted easily. Oh yes. Look at that. That is amazing. So yeah, so let's try and get to the top. Hopefully I can find a little route up to the top of there. Up to the top of there. Hopefully. If not, I'm right back up the valley again. Which, it is what it is. So I'll see you back at the top. Look at the valley below me in the sun now. Sun's poking up. That is an amazing view. Unreal. And I think the castle is just above me here on this mound. Is this what this signpost says? Let's have a look. Coast path. Coast path. Oh, up here. Yeah, still see Land's End lighthouse in the distance, if you can make that. Oh, is that rain out there? Ah. Let's get up here and have a look. I just want to show you the castle as I get up to it, because I've never seen it before. So this is the castle. Kenidjack Castle. Just obviously it's all fallen in. With it being here hundreds of years, perhaps thousands, who knows? Quite majestic, I suppose, stood on the headland. Nothing for miles around. What's this bit over here? Whew. Some form of wall, maybe, or is there anything down here below me? No. Don't know, that could have been a buried house or something. Let's have a look down here. So if you can only hear the wind on the mic, oh, it's quite strong this morning. Let's just have a look around here. I don't know if that's been bricked up or something. Big bricks. And then back round the other side. Wow. Oh, what a view, what a view. Castle in the background. Sun poking up. Cape Cornwall. Brissons. Yeah, amazing. So this is obviously some more aerial footage of Kenidjack Valley. You can see the ruins at the bottom, and if you look on the top to the left there, you can see the castle just poking up above the land. And this structure here at the bottom is one of the elements that I want to try and light up with my torchlight at night. So I'm quite looking forward to going up there. Also see another ruin just here, look. And then obviously you've got the chimneys there at the back. So yes, I'll leave these aerial shots with you of such an amazing place, another amazing place in Cornwall, as all these are. But I do think Kenidjack Valley, Cot Valley and Nanjizal are one of my favourite 3 locations. So I'll leave this with you to enjoy.
So Kenidjack Valley there rounds off my volume 1 locations for my Exploring Cornwall guide. And if you found this video helpful or indeed inspiring, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more photography and hiking guides and adventures. It really helps support my channel, and it will ensure that you don't miss any future uploads. And if you're planning your own trip to Cornwall, please make sure to download my photography guide and hiking guide from our website. It's packed full of details, locations, maps, and again, what 3-word locations to help you find the best spots and to find exactly where I've been. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.